Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We are back. We're doing a best of one Zendikar Rising draft. Our rare is Hagra Mauling, great card. Instant speed removal that also is a land. I like that. Also Blood Chief's Thirst, another good removal spell. Demon's Disciple, great for clerics. Lull Mage's Familiar for the kicker deck. Kindiox is playable in Boros or Boros Landfall or Selesnya Landfall. Raptor, same sort of thing, at its best in a landfall deck or a heavy spell land deck. Baloth, Gruul, or Selesnya. And Gloomhunter for any deck, but at its best in Golgari counter decks. Survivor, good for the counter decks. Rider, playable Boros Warrior card, but let's take Hagra Mauling and see what we follow it up with. Alright, well, Moss-Pit Skeleton is very strong. There's also a Feed the Swarm in here, which leaves us a little more open. But Moss-Pit Skeleton still goes with our first pick, and this card is very strong. If you can end up playing the Golgari Counters deck, you're pretty happy to have this. 2 mana, 2/2, or 5 mana, 5/5, and it comes back. It's a really valuable card. I think it's worth taking over the removal spell here, because it's just nice game winner. Pack Piece for party deck, Scythe Cat for counter deck as well. I just think the Moss-Pit Skeleton's a little more premium. Infiltrator, great rogue card. Malika Rebirth, good spell land. Felidar for the landfall decks. Bubble Snare, Feed Swarm, good removal. Those are the best cards, but we'll take the Skeleton. Seems like a good follow-up there. Okay, well, Gloomhunter is a fine follow-up here, as it's good in this deck and good card in general. Zoff Consumption, Spell Land. Springmantle Cleric is actually good for this deck too. And it's an uncommon, but I think Gloomhunter, I like the fact that it's modular. Play it cheap, play it early, play it late. Both times it's good. Into the Royal in here, good blue card. But yeah, we'll take Gloomhunter over the Vanquish too. I think Vanquish is fine, but I actually just really like Gloom. This is where Gloomhunter, I think, shines the most, is in these decks. Alright, Mucklord actually becomes a lot more playable in this deck too, but we probably want the Rabid Bite. Good premium removal. Yeah, I like it more than Vanquish the Weak. I think it just handles more things. So, and it's cheaper. But we'll take it. Off to a pretty decent start, I think, for a good Golgari counter deck. Alright. Pick here. I mean, Stomper is fine for this deck. You don't, if you get some spell lands, you're happy to have it. It's a fine finisher. It's on color with our initial plan. Best card in the pack. There's nothing outrageously good here. It might actually just be the Stomper. Night Runner is certainly playable. I don't see it come up all that often. Red Rogues are kind of weird. It's probably at its best in like a party deck. Resolute Strike doesn't come up that much. Certainly fine for warrior decks. Raptor, pretty decent. Grasp for rogues, or at its best in rogues, but yeah, take the Stomper. Be happy about it. So we can take Might here, but this seems like a great opportunity to take the Malika Rebirth. I actually like it quite a bit less with what we've got, because this needs to be kicked to be big, and so does this. So it's probably worse with what we've got currently, but it also just randomly brings Stomper back. And actually what's cool about that is if Stomper dies and you rebirth it, I was going to say get the rebirth back, but that's not true because you'd have to cast this as a spell. But still gives us an actual target for Stomper. So we'll take it. Alright, Gnarlid Colony, great cards. I really like this card a lot because it's versatile. It's good for the kicker and counter deck. It just happens to be good for us because we're in the counter plan. Some good white cards remaining in here, but pretty happy to get the Gnarlid Colony. I like not having to worry about class cards too. It's nice. I've had some issues in this format, as with most tribal formats in general. You tend to kind of get locked into a strategy if you commit to it early, and you're not willing to shift gears, or sometimes you go with it a little bit too late and you can't shift gears. But what I'm getting at is when you have a deck like this that really doesn't care about class, you can go whatever direction you want. Just makes it a lot easier. I will say the party mechanic did a good job of kind of mitigating that problem of tribal formats, but it's still a little bit of a problem. I've I find it comes up still quite a bit when you're trying to commit to a tribe and it's just you're not getting the pulls from it. You end up making a much weaker version of it. Here we'll take Oblivion's Hunger. It's already good with a lot of stuff we have, and this is the only deck that really wants to run it. All right, Demon's Disciple. It's removal. Seems totally fine for what we're doing. It's cool with Malakir Rebirth too. I actually like that quite a bit. So yeah. All right, you know, Nissa's Zendikar's actually a playable card I've found. It's not that bad. And it's another way to get back like your Hagra Mauling or your Malakir Rebirth if you stick it on there. It's usually a 4 mana or a 5 mana 4/4 haste reach, which really isn't bad. Can beat down pretty effectively. Here we'll just cut the green card. Can always play an Aesthetic. I'm okay with that. Alright, we'll cut the Brute. Take a Blood Price. I personally haven't played it, but it's been played against me a few times. Alright, Kazandu Mammoth's a great card. I actually really like Vine Gecko a lot too. That's tough, because Vine Gecko gets the counters, which is really good with Skeleton, and also reduces the cost of Skeleton. It might actually just be Vine Gecko, because it also reduces the cost of Gloom Hunter. That's tough. This card is fantastic too. Really cheap beater. It's tough, because on turn 4 it can attack as a 5/5. Wow. It's also a Feed the Swarm in here, but it really is between Vine Gecko and Mammoth. I might just have to err towards Mammoth. It's a rare. It's tough too, because this just works so well for what we're doing. But Mammoth is just too good to pass up, I think. And we have Stomper to get it back in case we have to, you know, play it as a land in a pinch. Just beating down with a 5/5 is so good. Okay, there's Vanquish here. There's Blood Beckoning. Those are both good. I might just want the Recovery, though. Spell Land, a really useful one. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We got a lot of good spell lands now, which is nice. Wow. Get another Moss-Pit Skeleton. Quite the gift. Also a Sentinel in here and a Rabid Bite, but Skeleton is just so premium that we definitely want it. So Subtle Strike, very good for this deck. I think it's certainly the pick for us here, unless we're splashing a Takedown, but no need. I think we're in good shape right now too. So let's take this Subtle Strike and be happy about that. Well, Shadow Stinger is usually good. This isn't quite the deck for it, though. It's just a random 1/4 in our deck that... yeah, it's a random 1/4 that basically mills for 3. I don't know if we're going to find many more rogues, or even if we did, would we want to play them? Probably not. A second Oblivion's Hunger doesn't seem great either. Neither does Scale the Heights, but I guess if I was going to play anything, it's probably a second Oblivion's Hunger. We have a lot of counter cards already. Alright, Sidecat's phenomenal. Love this card. Very good for our deck. We'll take it. I really like the strategies of this, like this, that can make use of these non-class cards. It's kind of like why Landfall and Counters and Kicker decks are good. They just don't rely on They don't rely on tribal cards. It's just nice. So Stomper number 2 or Blightblade. I think we'll take the Blightblade. We've got a good late game plan going already. So we'll get the early Death Toucher that's good with like Rabid Bite. I think we're... Wow. Gnarly Colony number 2. I'm going to take it over the Blood Beckoning, even though I like the Blood Beckoning. I think the Colony's just all around better for us. Cut the green card that we don't want to play. I guess Skitter Sneak's more playable. We'll take it. Alright, nothing on color here, so we can take the worst card, which for best of 1 is probably just like a Disenchant. Could be the Cleansing Wildfire too, but at least the Cleansing Wildfire guess cantrips. So we can take a Silencer, but it's no good for us, but we'll take it anyway to cut black. So I'd prefer to not play the Ascetic, Zendikar, Brute. Everything else looks pretty good. We'll cut the black card here. Take the worst card. Alright. Skyclave Relic is pretty good, but we're probably just looking at a Gloom Hunter versus a Sentinel here. Probably the Gloom Hunter. I like that you can... I mean, you can play both early, I guess. Sentinel's actually pretty good with Subtle Strike, but the lifelink is relevant in some matchups. They both have evasion. They're both good, frankly, but I like that you can play this on turn 2 sometimes. Maybe make use out of it. I'd be fine with either, but we'll take the Gloom Hunter. Guess I'd rather pay 6. Well, would I rather pay 6 for a 3/3 lifelink or 7 for a 4/5 flyer? I think I'm still on board with 6 over 7. Even, yeah, you lose 1 power and 2 toughness, but you pay 1 less. I mean, the jump between 6 and 7 mana, I would say, is pretty significant as well. So you have to consider those things. All right, what do we have here? I guess we can take the Sproutling. Yeah, we've got quite a few kicker cards to bring back, so it's pretty useful. Taking it over a Blood Priest, we don't have a lot of class cards, so we don't need that. Same thing with Silencer, Skitter Sneaks for Rogue, same with Shadow Stinger. Chronicler's great card for the kicker deck. Pack Piece for Party. Yeah, Sproutling is kind of just perfect pick for us. Well, usually I like Thwart the Grave, but with how few class cards we have, we just have like 2 or 3. It's going to be like a 6 mana return 1, but Vine Gecko in here is insane. It's still amazing for us, so really happy to get that. Especially since we took the, I can get this out of here, the Mammoth over it, which I'm still going back and forth on. I don't know. But taking over a colony, yeah, Vine Gecko is just great for us. Hunger number 3 just seems so unlikely. Probably just take a Scale the Heights that we're likely not to play. We could. Another Zendikar. Yeah, I suppose so. Can always bring them in. They're fine when you need them. Broken Wings, more of a sideboard card. Don't really need the Skulker. Whatever. So, second Stomper, I'm okay with this. Perfectly fine. We have a lot of good spell lands. Wow, another Thwart the Grave? That's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess we take it. It's just, I don't think it's good enough for the deck. Unfortunately, it's such a powerful card too, but I guess that's one downside of not playing class cards. Alright, got the Sentinel back, which is really nice. It's kind of a perfect card for us. Just going to take the rare here, just to get some gems. I mean, I like where we're at. I don't really want to play 3 Oblivion's Hunger. It seems wholly unnecessary. I guess Grasp is the best card. I don't know. We got enough creatures, which is good. Not quite sure what we're playing and cutting yet. Gotta take a look at that. We have a lot of spell lands, so we'll probably have to throw something else in. I don't think that's a big deal. So we can look at... we don't have to... We can count this as just a land, not a spell. We can count... Probably count Balagad Recovery as a land. The Mammoth and the Hagra Mauling we're going to count as spells. So currently that means we could run 2 more cards and have 17. Maybe we run... Can we get away with 17 in this deck? We probably can. Because it's really going to be 19 in a pinch. But 2 Oblivion's Hungers, or 3 is just so unnecessary. Even 2 is a little bit excessive, honestly, but nobody expects them, so they're fine. They can protect against random spells. Now we probably just throw like a ascetic in here. And could do a brute. Or the Zendikar. I might even like the Zendikar more. Especially with the spell lands. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. Could even do 2 Zendikars instead of the ascetic. It's not terrible. The hastiness is good. Life gain's good too, though. So with this is 16, 17, 18, 20 lands, but like I said, we're counting these as spells. I think this is fine. We'll diversify. We'll play an ascetic and a Zendikar. I'm okay with that. So color-wise, we're looking at 10 and 15. Extra green. We do have double green here. We have double black here. Double green here. So we might just do an even split anyway. Yeah, we do have more double black though, but do I really want to? I guess I can do an extra black. So I could do 9, 9, 9, or I can do 10, 8. Right now it's Yeah, do I want to do 9, 9? Or do I want to do 10, 8? I mean, you really want to play that Mammoth on turn 3. We maybe just do 9, 9 split. And it's really 10, 10 with the 2 extra spell lands in case. We have the Stompers to get our spell lands back. This is a good looking deck. I like it. I think it's pretty solid looking. Alright. I'm happy. We'll run it like this. We'll see round 1. It's a bit of an awkward hand. I want to play. But we're running 20 lands. I'm going to keep it. Double Stomper is a little bit awkward. But like I said, I think because you run 20 lands, it's quite a bit safer. So now we at least can go like Sproutling into maybe Zendikar if we rip 2 lands. Otherwise, Sproutling into Rabid Bite is probably okay. I guess we'll not block here. Could be bluffing us, I suppose. No play. Alright. Well, I think that we... What are some instant speed? They could have like Molten Blast to kill my Blight Blade. I might just do the Zendikar here. Let's see if they tap out. You screwed that one up. Alright, let's do the black mana here. So we could just get in for 7. And then we go Blight Blade. And we'll Rabid Bite the Vanguard. And I did that to the Vanguard because it could make my Blight Blade unable to block. Whereas now they a little bit more awkward of a spot. And they got to deal with our beaters here. Well, we don't quite have that online yet, so let's just smash and see what happens. I guess we just play the Gloom Hunter. It's got lifelink, so even though I could kick it at some point, once we rip a land, we can just play the Stomper anyway, so I'd rather just, I guess, do that. Putting another body on the board when they're at 3 life doesn't seem bad to me either. Alright, they got a dig here. And they just discard the old hand. Or put them on the bottom of their library. So they need to stop our Sproutling and our Zendikar. Alright. So they've got the 3/4 now, which means they could double block the Zendikar. I think we're just ready to start dropping some stompy stomps. No need to bounce. No need to attack. So currently 3 lethal creatures. They have 2 blockers. Alright. So we'll play another Stomper. They have 1 card left. They could have attacked there, but let's do the Stomper number 2, and I guess we can return this and replay it. Pretend like we have something. Pass. So they have, okay. So we smash with team next turn. Kind of see what happens. This thing's got trample, which helps a lot. So they have to stop at least 4 points of damage from our Stomper. So they just are gonna die. I'm going to let my Sproutling die and probably kill the Vanguard. Although, yeah, I've got the Reach creature. I probably don't need to leave them a flyer. I think they're having a hard time figuring out what they're doing here. So we'll kill those. We'll do the Oblivion's Hunger on the Stomper so it doesn't die. And then we just follow up with a Mammoth, and they're in pretty tough shape now. Yeah, I think they're pretty much done. Got 4 lethal creatures. Alright, we'll see you for game 2. Alright. Good looking keep here. Kind of okay with playing Skeleton on turn 2 because if it dies, you just get it back later and then kick it. So I'm kind of okay with that. No priest. Alright. Well, good news is I can Rabid Bite that if this lives. Alright. 2 mana, no land drop. Guess I'll attack here first. And I'll just try and Rabid Bite that if we can. Alright. Oh, Zendikar. It's actually a good draw. Zendikar's kind of one of those deceptively good cards, I feel like. Because playing a 4 mana tapped 4/4 rechased is pretty good. And they kill it, you get your land back, you're set back a little bit, but it has protection from Into the Royal too, which I think a lot of people don't even realize. Also makes it pretty exceptionally good. Yeah. Now we just go Sidecat land and we're in Moss-Pit Skeleton kick territory, so put that on top. I mean, I have to tap my Zendikar to do it, but it's probably worth it. Like I said, protection from Into the Royal is actually really relevant in this format too, because it's a land, and Into the Royal is non-land only. So I don't know. I really like that. Do I want to just attack here and play like a Gnarlid Colony? I'm not even sure. Get in for 7. And then I can just play 2 more creatures. That might actually be better. I'm going to do that. Let me see what happens. Like I said, can't Into the Royal it. They might Into the Royal our Sidecat. I guess you can Into the Royal that. Let's just do Zendikar again, I think. So Gnarlid Colony gives our Mossbit Skeleton trample, something to be mindful of next turn. I guess we're technically a land away from Skyclave Sentinel too, but Zendikar is kind of my beatdown creature right now, so I don't know if I want to take a turn off from attacking. Alright, Fort the Grave, we get a couple dudes back. So we've got Sentinel if we want, but probably I'm going to play the Stomper this turn, so I think we'll just smash. Once again, I could have given the Skeleton trample, but I don't think it's necessary. We'll just play the big dude. And I guess we don't need to bounce lands. So they could do like a Geyser Mage and bounce our Stomper. Which would set us back, but they'd still have to chump. I guess they wouldn't have to chump. They could double block, which is quite a bit better. So can do the Sentinel instead. It's lethal in the air. All right, let's do that. Yeah, and then we'll put that on top. Alright, so we can play Gnarlid Colony, which gives us trample. I think it's pretty good, actually. I think we'll do that. Not the best use of mana here, but I think taking it to 1 is actually quite good. Here we get to draw. Can actually play the Skeleton here too. Yeah, you know, we've got our next 2 turns kind of mapped out. I'm going to do that. Alright, we'll see for the next one. Alright, this looks like a keep to me. And I suppose we'll play the Mammoth. We have the means to get it back. Oh, we don't even have to. Oh, perfect. Alright. Well, get in there. And drop the Gloom Hunter. Kind of okay with playing a turn 3 Sproutling. Unless we rip the green mana, then we can do turn 3 Mammoth. Sproutling definitely gets a lot better when you can do other things with it, but I think it's totally acceptable here. Especially with the Rabid Bite in hand now, too. Alright, they time out, so we'll play a land, we're going to attack. And then we'll just play the Zendikar on a swamp here. Alright, they do Reclaim the Waste, find another blue mana. So they have Into the Royal kicked mana up now. And then a Roosted Drakes, okay. So, guess we Disciple. Actually gonna sack the Gloom Hunter. Seems a little bit weird, I know, but we don't need the life gain, and the Blightblade with the Rabid Bite is still going to be better in case they drop some fatty we got to worry about. And getting a 3-1 on the board seems more relevant when they've got that Roosted Drakes. So they kick, they can bounce the Zendikar, which kind of makes sense. So we go Rabid Bite. Geyser Mage. We go land. And bash. And they're dead. Alright. We'll see for the next one. Alright, we've got a good looking keep here. I think we'll start it off with the... I don't know, it kind of always feels right to start it off with the skeleton, just because we can get it back later. I kind of like that. Even with like Demon's Disciple, but we'll probably play this Mammoth on turn 3, just because it seems good to me. Possibly into Zendikar on turn 4 if we rip a land, which is also really good. Riptide, well, that's pretty good too. Vine Gecko's cool. Yeah, let's actually just attack though, I think. So I think we'll Rabid Bite for now, while they're tapped out too. We have the Demon's Disciple, so I can sack. I could have just played Demon's Disciple, it might have been better. We'll see. So I can play the Balagad Recovery. I think we will, but I guess we'll do this now. Sack the Skeleton. Play that tapped. Get it for 5. So now I've got some choices as to whether I want to play Gecko or Zendikar. If we rip the land, I think we just go with Zendikar. Ascetic. Pretty good for them actually, but alright. Let's go land and Zendikar on the Sanctuary. And could get in with everything. But they could eat our Disciple and take 9. I'm more okay with this. Because it's not lethal, I think they would block the Disciple and leave themselves a 5/4. So I'd rather get the 5/4 off the board. Get some damage in. The Mammoth did its job, so alright. Stomper's not bad. Let's Get in here. Get our land back. I think we just go Gecko. And I will play the Sanctuary here. I don't have to, but I'm building towards this Stomper too. It just seems worth it to me. Sure. So we can do the Stomper now. And I guess at this point I return the Sanctuary. So we kick this for 4 mana. Get back our Skeleton. I can get back Rabid Bite with Recovery too. Seems pretty good. If they tap out, it might be a reasonable option for us. We'll see. They have kicked Cunning Geyser Mage mana. Alright, so they Rabid Bite the Gecko. So we've got Ascetic now, which is pretty good. Let's get in with the Stomper, see if they have the Into the Royal. Glacial Grasp. So we'll play our own Ascetic now. And pass. Could have actually done the Gnarled Colony. Ascetic threatens a little more damage, I think. Attacking with Gnarled Colony, I guess we take it. Alright. Got Sentinel there. We'll attack with Ascetic. And play our own Gnarled Colony and get back Moss-Pit Skeleton. And yeah, I still want to leave the option there to get back our Rabid Bite. I could have done it that turn, but then I wouldn't have the Gnarled Colony, so I don't know if it's better. Alright, now they just have a couple creatures we're not super worried about. 1 land left, so they're at 12. Yeah, I mean, I think we just get back Rabid Bite. Now they can't block either of these profitably, so we'll just get in. Once again, can't really get in with the Disciple because they could just block with the Snarecaster and take both. They don't die anyway. This way they can't block. They can't kill either one, so it doesn't really matter. And this, if they just take it, they go to lethal. Disciple's lethal the next turn. Chumping doesn't really do them any good here anyway, so it kind of feels like they just take it. Because then at least they maybe have a body on the board that can double block next turn. Yeah. just odd I haven't gotten really an opportunity to attack with Disciple the whole game. Just been sort of chilling there, doing its 3-1 thing. He's checking his graveyard. I wonder what that means. Does he have his own Balagad recovery? Kicker. Makes more sense. And you gotta get some more bodies on. Yeah. So now I probably do attack with everything. Just because they have to stop a lot of trample damage here. So let's see, they block there. They have to stop 4 damage here. I think they're in pretty rough shape here. Because we have 10 trample damage, they have to stop 8 of it. So I'm not even sure how they... I'm not even sure they can now. So they stop. Not enough. Yeah. This probably is the only way to live. Which means at least our Demon's Disciple did something. That's good. Alright, we kill both their guys. They take 1 trample damage. They're boardless, and we've got a Mossbit skeleton here. Alright, we'll see for the next one. Yeah, I think we can keep this. Yeah, as per usual, I'll just jam out a skeleton. It's really the really nice aspect about the Mossbit skeleton. It's just that it doesn't matter when you play it. It's doing work for you. Side cat of our own. Well, I like that we can torture this little thing, so play the land, and we'll actually Subtle Strike and pump our... The reason I'm doing this is because we have that Oblivion's Hunger, so I feel like it's better to divide this ability up between our guys, especially if they have a removal spell. Well, makes it a little more tricky, especially with no land drop here. Yeah, guess we just chill. Alright, that's cool. Alright. Got that. Play this. Actually, I guess we can... Yeah, actually we attack with both now. I'm actually surprised, but maybe I shouldn't be because it kind of makes sense. Like, they could have killed our skeleton. It would have left our cat alive. And then we play this and we immediately put this on back of our deck. And then they have to deal with a 5/5. So, I guess they sussed that out, maybe. It's nice to see Oblivion's Hunger do something. Always makes me happy. This is the second time we've seen Tajuru Snarecaster. How weird is that? Because I don't think it's a particularly good card, so... it's a bit of a surprise. Yeah, I would say the GOP is definitely the stronger card, so we'll kill it. I don't really want to play a Gloom Hunter because this thing has reach too. Alright. I guess it deck thins and draws. It makes sense. They get the little landfall trigger. Another Gnarlid Colony. Yeah, let's just bash in there. So they can eat the skeleton. We'll play the Gnarlid Colony. Put the skeleton back on top of our deck. I mean, this is the only block that makes sense, I think, so. Alright. Alright. So, wow. So they can double block. I mean, we kill the Lagak, we kill the Canopy Baloth. Still take some trample. Play the skeleton. Stomper. And we actually don't bounce this time because we want to play another Stomper if we had to for some reason. Alright, we'll see you for the next one. Well, this is a great keep. Blight Blade into Gecko. And granted, we need to rip some lands, but this is definitely a good hand. Sure. Alright. We'll still go Gecko, I think. We'll do Gloom Hunter first. So we're still a couple lands away from having some true value here. And now we're like 3 lands away from some value, I think. So, I mean, play the skeleton, actually, it's fine. Get him back with Colony at some point. It's not a big deal, I guess. 2 cards left in hand, alright. I guess now we can wait. Got all these 5 drops. I mean, I can protect it, I suppose. I've just got so much action in hand, I don't see why not. Especially since it's like, you know, actually doing work for us right now. Alright, well, good news is we can attack into that. Do we have kicker spells we can get back? No. We will, shortly. So we just get in here. Maybe they take it. They do. So we can follow up with colony, I guess. Alright. So now we're one land from our own Skyclave Sentinel. Zendikar's not bad either. Guess we're doing on the swamp here. Guess I could have just done another Gnarlid colony, but I was trying to think if there's some way for me to get rid of these Moss-Pit skeletons. Not actually sure there is. I might have pumped my Sentinel there. I guess we'll double block. Alright. They got us. So we go land, and do we have a kicker spell to get back? Yeah, we can get the lifelinker back, I think. I like that more. Alright. Haggard Mauling is very good. So where did they gain all the life from? Oh, it was I was gonna say it's the inscription. So we can do Haggard Mauling, we can do Sentinel. Can do Gloom Hunter. I think we'll just do the Haggard Mauling. They know we have something though. Alright, so we can do this mostly because it can block the cleric. I think they have to attack anyway, because even if they don't have, I'm pretty surprised they didn't, to be honest. I would have, because you pretend like you have something even if you don't in that situation. I'm actually going to play the Ascetic here. It's not the best use of mana, but I don't want to randomly die to some like Might of Marasa kicked or something. So why not just play an Ascetic and pass? I mean, we got a bunch of kick spells on the way, so it seems fine. Malika Rebirth, great draw there. So we can Rebirth. Kind of don't want to though. I think I'd rather just jam a Gloom Hunter and have a bunch of flyers. Yeah. Alright, Baloth. So we go to 10. We just, since we don't have lethal anyway, I think we swing like this. We play the colony kicked. And pass. Sure. Ascetic brings him back up to 9. Alright, that's fine. Oh wait, I don't want to actually, yeah, Malachor Rebirth doesn't quite do what I want it to do there. So I can Bala Ged Recovery back the Hagra Mauling. Or the Sproutling. To kick back. Yeah, we probably just get the Hagra Mauling, I guess. Man, that's a good draw too. So let's go. We've got 9 mana, so I can recover back Ascetic and gain life. Yeah, that's probably the best. 3. Yeah, and we still leave up Rebirth. That's pretty good. I like that. Get in here. So we're not lethal anyway. Go Ascetic and leave up Rebirth. Alright. Kind of have to attack with everything. No choice, really. Yeah, let's see here. Like this. Like this. And like this. Yeah. Alright. We'll see for the next one. Yeah, this hand's good. Got the Blight Blade, we got a Subtle Strike. Scythe Cat maybe can do something for us. Got 20 land cards in our deck. Well, I guess we'll discard the, what do we want to discard? Could be the Hunger. Yeah, it's probably the weakest card in our hand. All right. So next turn we go land Zendikar. Guess Stomper land then. All right. Technically get back the second black. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as playing this. Not really though, because then, yeah, all right, we'll We'll attack first, I guess. And then we'll play this. So this way, if we rip a land, can do the Zendikar, which is probably better. It's a lot of core celebrants. Alright. They don't have a rogue though, so that's good. Even the land is nice too. Let's go Zendikar. This doesn't have that touch, right? So we go. They can trade their Skulker for my Blight Blade. I might just have to be okay with that. If my Sanctuary dies anyway, this is fine. I can... I guess get back my Blight Blade or something. I don't know. Well, they didn't have the land drop, so I guess that's good. So we'll take out the bigger dude and drop this dude. Yeah, and if our Sanctuary dies, we can get it back, which is useful. That was a good draw. All right, so they're gonna have to do some blocking. And if they kill our Sanctuary, we just, yeah. So I guess I'll take out a Celebrant. Yeah, we get the Sanctuary back, which is sweet. And what do we want to get back? We can go, we got 2 creatures left. So probably just get back the Stomper. It's our biggest threat. Makes the most sense to me. And then we can play it and even get a landfall for our Mammoth, which is pretty sweet. So we go Stomper. Guess we'll return that. Sure. That's pretty good. They die if they draw the card, yeah. I guess I can't Malachor Rebirth now, though, if they have, yeah, I kind of have to. Alright, well, it was a close game. Pretty amazing draft, actually. I think we went completely lossless, which is nice. I've had a lot of success with this archetype, but maybe this is where I should be focusing my efforts, perhaps. But yeah, I've been doing good with this deck. So, alright, well, hope you enjoyed it. There you have it. Golgari counters. I think I might have found my best archetype in the format, perhaps. Alright, we'll see you for the next one.